Happy morning, students. Valga Valamudan. How you all? Past 1 week we didn't meet. Yes, no? Yes, children. Whatever happens in the world, but it's not matter. Okay? Every day, whether it is a war or like this pandemic or whatever happens in the world, but every day in the east you can see the sun because the earth never stop its rotation. Okay, so like that, the golden gates never stop its action. That is, it's continue its teaching and learning through in all the possible ways. Okay, dears, how I hope you all are did your exams very well. Okay, for all, did your first periodic assessment completed? So I hope you did that very well manner. Okay, children, today in history, second chapter, already a small portion we completed in that chapter 2. Okay, do you remember what is that chapter name? Yes, see here what you are seeing on the screen, a battlefield. Okay, a battlefield we are seeing here. What do you remember? Yes, the new lesson about the kings and the kingdoms. Okay, how the new kings and kingdoms emerged in the medieval period. Okay, that is the second chapter in history for us. In that we completed a small portions already. What is that? How the new kings and kingdoms emerged, then administration systems of them, then about the prasasti. These things we already saw in the same chapter. Okay, shall we go a small recap about it? Because I think you little bit you forgot. Yes, new kings and kingdoms, the emergence of new dynasties. How the new dynasties emerged? Many new dynasties emerged after the 7th century. Landlords or warriors or samantas, chiefs were acknowledged as samantas. Samantas means warriors. Their duty is their duty was to give the gift to the kings, and they want to give army support when the king needed. Okay, then in that time some samantas or the powerful samantas, if they know the king's power declined in that manner, means immediately they itself declared they are the kings. Okay, so in that way some samantas came to the throne, and as well as that brahmanas also. What is the duty? What was the duty for the brahmanas? Doing rituals. But some brahmanas also came in this way to the throne. Okay, okay, children, do you remember who came like that? Samantas. Example, Rashtrakuta. Okay, the Rashtrakutas came to the power. They were the samantas under the Chalukya kings. Okay, they were the samantas under the Chalukya kings. They throw the Chalukya kings and they came to the power. The Rashtrakutas. Okay, and some Brahmanas also. Pratihara kings, Gujara Pratihara kings. They were the Brahmanas and they came to the power. Especially that Rashtrakuta did the Hiranyagarbha rituals. Then they become very powerful. Okay, we saw those things. Then administration in the new kingdoms. They themselves declare that Adi Raja, Maharaja, Raja Raja, like that they given the title for themselves. Okay, that we saw in that one. The kings shared power with their samantas, farmers, and their army workers. Okay, that means Kshatriyas. Okay, with them they shared their power, and also they have collected the taxes to develop their kingdoms. That also we saw. Okay, children, that is in the administration in the new kingdoms. Then Revenue collectors were recruited from influential families, and that postings were hereditary. After the death of his daddy, he came to that position, and after his death, his son came to that position. That is the revenue collection. Then last one is Prashasti and land grants. Okay, what is called Prashastis? Prashastis means a poem written in Sanskrit language by the Brahmanas. Okay, it was a collection of poems or poems written by the Brahmanas in Sanskrit language. Okay, what is the content of the poem? To praise the king. Okay, that is called Prasastis. We saw already Samudragupta's Prasasti in the 6th grade, and I told you about the Chola Prasasti, and in this lesson you saw about the Balban, Gyazuddin Balban's Prasastis. Okay, these things. The Prasasti is a Sanskrit poem. It explained about the king, and in that way what? Praising the king. But Kalhana wrote the Rajatarangini about the Kashmir's king. Okay, in that poet Kalhana always criticized the kings. Okay, so that Prasasti is a different Prasasti about from the others. Okay, then land grants. During the time of this medieval period, the Brahmanas wrote the Prasasti and do a lot of rituals. Okay, for that they are getting they are got the lot of lands from the kings, patrons, kings. That's called land grants. These details they were written in the copper plates. Okay, they are because it is not get the destruction, no? So they are written in the copper plates. That's land grants. From where to where, for what purpose they got, from which king they given, every details they given in the land grants, that is in the copper plates. Okay, children, till this we completed in the past session, in the previous session. Today we going to see about the warfare for wealth. Okay, why why the kings doing the warfare for wealth? Okay, why, for what purpose they did, why they did everything, we will see in this session. Okay, children, shall we go? Yes. Here, tripartite struggle. Okay, that meaning is what? Dynasties were based in a specific region but tried to control other areas. Okay, their region is in specified places but they tried to control the others. Okay, that here they given in the tripartite struggle. Who among who this was happened? Kanuj in the Ganga Valley was one such center of conflict between Gujara, Pritihara, Rashtrakuta and Pala dynasties. Okay, this three members who Gujara, Pritihara, they same, and Rashtrakuta and Pala dynasties. These people were always what they doing? They are making mess among themselves. Okay, so that's called a tripartite struggle. Wait a minute, I will say. Yes, here one the best known. Okay, that they are saying Kanuj in the Ganga Valley. Okay, the parties Gujara, Pratihara, Rashtrakuta. Because there were three parties in this long drawn conflict. Okay, in this conflict they participate for a long time. Historians often describe it as the tripartite struggle. Okay, yes, Kane, that is I already explained that Kanuj area, who they want to dominate the Kanuj area. So the Gujara, Pritihara, Rashtrakuta and Bala dynasties were making war always in this areas. Then temples were the common targets during attacks as they were extremely rich. Yes, children. If a king came to try to capture the other areas means First, their target is to destroy their religious places. Okay, in India, that is the temples. Okay, that's here saying temples were the common targets during attacks as they were extremely rich. Okay, each one of that kings, if they started to fight among themselves, if captured one places means they started to destroy the temples. There are two reasons for the why they destroy means. One is in those days, kings and others store the valuable things, that is precious things, in the temples, and they show they are angry to destroy the monuments, because the monuments are great thing to say messages about the kings. For that two reasons, the kings who captured that area, they destroyed the temples. Okay, then here, Muhammad Ghazini, okay, a famous person. One of the best known of such a ruler was Sultan Muhammad of Ghazini. He came from Afghanistan. He ruled from 9th century 1997, sorry, 997 to that is 10th century 1030, and extended control over parts of Central Asia, Iran, and the northwestern parts of the subcontinent. Yes, what he did, he raided the subcontinent almost every year. His targets were wealthy temples, including that of Somnath, Gujarat. Much of the wealth Muhammad carried away was used to create a splendid capital city at Ghazini. Okay, his place is Ghazini. Here I am giving Muhammad of Ghazini, Ghazini raided the Indian subcontinent almost every year and targeted wealthy temples like Somnath in Gujarat and carried away a lot of wealth to his kingdom Ghazini, that is capital city. Okay, children, do you understand how the people came from other areas and they started to attack, and why they attacked the temples first? Because I already told, in olden days, peoples and kings kept their valuables and precious things in the temples. So they attacked the temples, and also they are showing they are angry in the monuments, to the monuments. Okay. Yes, what is the next? How we can know this? Alburini. Okay, Alburini, an interested scholar who the Muhammad Ghazini was interested. That scholars also where he was attacked. Okay, here Sultan Muhammad was also interested in finding out more about the people he conquered, and interested a scholar named Alburini to write an account of the subcontinent. This Arabic work, known as the Kitab ul Hind, remains an important source for historians. He consulted Sanskrit scholars to prepare this account. Okay, so here I am given in this short way that Muhammad Ghazini was very interested uh, to saw the scholars and the peoples in the subcontinent. So that time he saw a Kitabul Hind, in Arabic word, a book written by the Alburini. But that for writing this thing, he consulted the Sanskrit scholars. Okay. Yes, children. Next. Still this, we saw only about the Muhammad Ghazini came from Afghanistan. He invaded a lot of places in our country, especially that Somnath in Gujarat temples. Why these people attacked the temples? Because they are taking a lot of wealth from the temples and other areas. Alburini, from that account, Kitab ul Hind, we can see these information. For that Muhammad Ghazini asked the help from the Sanskrit scholars. We will continue in the next session. Please wait.